Impact Day, we also have a look here. This is Joint Base Andrews. This is Marine One getting ready to land ahead of the president, then boarding Air Force One to make his way toward Greater Cincinnati.
Yeah, so we are just getting started with our team coverage of the president's visit to Greater Cincinnati. Once he lands here, hour or so, he's scheduled to be in Reading around 2:30 p.m. to make some comments there. From there, he'll come back across the river, hold up traffic and everything in between before he heads over to Verse Logistics.
Yes, and that is an important note because, again, we know this is happening during a busy time of the day. Reading Community Schools actually dismissing the junior and senior high school right now, and then the elementary students will be dismissed at 12:45. They are doing that half day as a result of the president's visit, knowing that traffic is going to be very jammed up. And we know that the village of Evendale put out an alert as well saying, hey, Reading Road, Galbraith Road, 75, Ronald Reagan Cross County Highway, you must expect additional traffic or closures as the motorcade is making its way through. Again, they don't give us a specific time or specific mapped out route for security purposes, but you just know already the areas based off of where Thermo Fisher Scientific is, as well as where Verse Logistic is over in Hebron.
Yeah, so when you're in that area, that's a ticketed event down there. You had to pre-register to go to the event down in Hebron. Of course, that's going to be a political event as well. We know business owners will be on stage. There'll be some local leaders. We've heard Mike DeWine might be out there as well. Then there's the question, if the president will get political. We are in the middle of primary season, especially in Kentucky. We have Thomas Massey's seat up for grabs this fall. He's being heavily primaried by the opponent, Ed Gallrein, who the president has supported. We know Thomas Massey and the president have gone back and forth on a number of issues, very well publicized issues there. And then you also have Mitch McConnell. He's leaving the Senate. He's retiring. That seat also up for grabs. So it's one of those things where we see the president try to weigh in on the political season.
If you are planning to attend that Verse Logistics event that, again, was ticketed, it is public, but you must have a ticket to that event. I do believe they're asking people to get there at 1 o'clock. So they will have everyone through there. They'll do security checks, of course. I'm not sure if that's an open time frame from like 1 to 2 or what the plan is there, but you do have to go long before the president is set to speak there, just about 4:30. So again, if you're just joining us right now, taking a look here, this is Marine One. It has just landed here at Joint Base Andrews ahead of the president's departure on Air Force One, making his way to Greater Cincinnati, visiting both sides of the river, northern Kentucky and the Cincinnati side. Again, just reminding everybody as a traffic heads up, this happens every time a sitting president is in town, roads are closed. It becomes pretty chaotic just as people are trying to navigate around. So make sure that you have a plan to either have your gas tank filled up, have a snack in the car, have some extra water, or maybe, again, trying to give yourself some extra time to get where you need to go.
Yeah, and when you talk about gas and snacks, some of the talking points for the president today, he'll be talking about affordability, groceries, gas prices. We've seen those go up. We know about the war in Iran, the conflict that's been happening over there, raising gas prices. He'll also be talking about his prescription drug program, Trump RX, and how it's a pass-through third-party website to compare prices. So again, we're watching Marine One. We're waiting for the president to step off the plane. I'm sure he'll be shaking a couple hands of people who are there getting ready to board Air Force One. Then we'll see him walk up Air Force One and then hopefully take off in the near future. So this is the president's first visit to Greater Cincinnati of his second term. A lot on his plate for such a short visit here this afternoon.
Yeah, it's, they're going to be at a lot of places in a very short time frame. So the anticipated time of departure is around 6 p.m. So if you're wondering kind of how long this event will extend through Greater Cincinnati, initially we had sort of said like 12 to 6, just not knowing when Air Force One would officially depart. Obviously, I think it's happening slightly later, but probably still within the time frame that they had budgeted out. So it'll probably get closer to a little after 1, maybe closer to 1:30, seeing the president exit Marine One right now.
Giving a customary salute to the Marines standing by there on the ground. So this is going to be a full afternoon event, the visit of President Trump here to Greater Cincinnati. We have reporters in Reading. We have reporters in Hebron. We have reporters. Our anchor, Ashley Kirkland, she is at the airport waiting for the president to land here in a couple of hours. Mike and Cherie will be in. Chris will be in. We're going to be all over. It is a historic visit. When the president comes to town, the whole world kind of stops. The whole country kind of stops to pay attention to what he has to say and what he'll be doing once he gets to Greater Cincinnati.
And watching, of course, the weather on this side of town. So we're seeing the sun shining. We're seeing, a dry day there in the D.C. area. Obviously, we're dealing with much different conditions here. So if for any reason that shifts things, as you can see, the president getting ready to board Air Force One, we will be keeping you updated throughout the afternoon. And again, just a reminder for everyone, road closures will be happening. It's not just possible, it will be happening. Please go ahead and plan your afternoon accordingly. Call anyone ahead of time and just let them know you might run into some snags. And WLWT here for you through the afternoon as the president visits the Cincinnati area.